Hey everyone, I'm Scott Stokely, and I am here in Calumet, Michigan, and I'm about as excited as I have been my entire life because I've been so lucky, you guys. I've been able to do almost everything I've ever dreamed of in disc sports and disc golf, but there has been something glaring on my bucket list forever, and I'm about to knock it off this week. So I am here to compete in the 67th Annual IFT. Now, the IFT is the International Frisbee Tournament, and the reason this is so special is this is the oldest running flying disc tournament in our sport. This is where disc sports or competitive disc sports began. So I'm going to give you a brief history lesson about the IFT. I'm going to tell you about the game we're going to be playing here because it's not disc golf. And I'm going to tell you what's so special and why I'm shooting this video in front of this old building right here. So, the IFT effectively began in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan in the late 1950s. The Healy family would have picnics. And at these picnics, they invented a game that involved throwing frisbees back and forth at each other as hard as they could. Now, we're in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, so of course they had a rule called the 69B rule, which stated you must always and at all times be holding a beer in one hand. Now, I assume the rules, you weren't allowed to spill the beer. I'll have to check with the historians on this one, but it's the UP, so I'm guessing that's probably the case. But nonetheless, that's where our sport began. Now, here's the thing. People started getting pretty good at throwing these frisbees. They got very skilled at throwing these frisbees hard, and the game became competitive. And when it became competitive, they abandoned the 69B rule and created the International Frisbee Tournament in Escanaba, Michigan in 1958. And then in 1959, it moved to Eagle Harbor to the ball yard. And basically, it's been running ever since. 76 years. It's incredible. Now, they're not playing disc golf. They're playing what evolved from that original drinking game, which is the game of Guts Frisbee. And I'll make videos coming up here with more details on the specifics of the rules. And if you're interested in playing, reach out to USA Guts for information. It's one of the funnest games you could ever play, but you need special equipment for it because you're not throwing golf discs at each other. But the short of it is, two teams of 5 players stand 45 feet apart, and they throw discs as fast as they can at the opposing team. Or rather, between the members of the opposing team, because good Guts players, if you throw at them, are going to catch the disc. And if you throw a disc that is caught, not only have you been completely emasculated, but you also don't get points. You only get points when the disc either gets past them or they're not able to catch it. Now, when the disc comes at you, you're trying to catch it with one hand or knock it up into the air, and someone on your team has to catch it with one hand. There's way more to it than that. But that's the 50-cent version, and I'm going to be documenting the entire event of the IFT on my Facebook page and YouTube channel. And what I want you guys to do is first, I want you to know the history of our disc sports, because as great as disc golf is, we came from somewhere, and where we came from is here in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, right? This is where disc sports began, and it's part of our history. And everything we have today started with people who invented games. That's what early frisbees on the back of the disc it said invent games, and the Healy family did. And eventually, because of things like that, we got disc golf. Now, what's so special about this building? Check this out. It is home of the International Frisbee and USA Guts Hall of Fame. And first thing tomorrow morning, David Brown is going to be giving me a tour of the museum, and I'll be giving you guys a tour because I will be documenting every single thing that happens here at the IFT on my Facebook page and YouTube channel. And I hope you all follow, because it's going to be a lot of fun to see the like it's living history. Like it's just, I can't even, I'm rarely at a loss for words, but I'm kind of at a loss for words on this video because I just can't contain myself. I'm actually here after all these years, And by the way, the reason I didn't come in the past takes place in the middle of the summer. Didn't want to play Guts in the middle of a golf season when I'm trying to pay my rent with prize money. So yeah, Guts is a lot of fun. Reach out to USA Guts. I hope you all give it a shot and follow me this week. It's going to be a blast.